How's it going, everyone? This is my first video on this channel, and I just kind of want to explain real quickly what I think I want this channel to be. Much like those 3 a.m. YouTube videos you find when you're down in your dumps, I think Jay Schlatt does a really good example with the weekly slap. I just want to be able to talk to people about my life experiences and maybe help you with what's going on in yours, depending on if it's similar, different, or maybe you just want to hear someone else's story for a little bit. I assume for me that this is a good idea just to talk through it with others. And if you have advice for me, it'd be greatly appreciated in the comments. But if you just want to sit and listen and even hear the little bit of advice that I might give, that's totally fine too. A burden is defined as a heavy load, obligation, or duty that is difficult to carry or deal with, often causing emotional, financial, or physical strain. A little bit of my life story is that I am the youngest in my family. I had a mom, a dad, and a sister who was 4 years older than me, and we lived a pretty good life. My parents were pretty good with their money. We would do normal family things like going camping, spending Christmas with family, having friends, and just living. In my elementary years, I definitely grew up a bit more extroverted, often hosting school assemblies and at least being known by everyone. And then it eventually just kind of closed off in middle school. I feel like that's most kids' stories. I think most of us kind of just get a little bit more insecure as we age. But I'd say I lived a pretty good life as a kid. I didn't really have that much wrong with it. I want to say around 13, my parents divorced, and I grew up around a lot of divorced families, and I actually totally understood why. I guess I can't say I totally understood why, but I'd like to think that I was at least in a better headspace than many, as divorce is becoming a little bit more normalized and kind of shown to the kids in media. And with that, I ended up living with my dad. My sister went off with my mom, still in the same city and everything, just one kid, one parent kind of deal. And with that, I kind of grew a little distant with my mom, which I'll probably share in another video. Keep this one on being a burden. And yeah, I lived with my dad for a few years, just me and him for a while, and then eventually my aunt moved in, and then my dad got cancer. And about a year later, he ended up passing away. And I definitely took it hard, but as I've done for most of my childhood, I kind of just stayed in the basement and played games. I did it as a kid. It was a good escape, and I really enjoyed it. A really, really bad thing that I have to hold with me is the morning that my dad died. I ended up finding out during a Valorant match with my friends, which some could see as pretty bad, but uh, I don't take it too hard because I was just doing what I liked at the time, and I was distracting myself with friends. So um, after that, I was able to go live with my grandparents for a while. I was just heading off into the university type of world, and they were able to take me in. And I've always had a good relationship with them, so that was never really that big of a deal. But I ended up moving into a room in the basement, and just like that, I went to school and I went to work, and I found the gym as a big coping mechanism and got really into it. But when I was home or around these people that loved me, I'd often just find myself going to the basement and hopping on my games. Living with them and living with my dad, even, I found myself basically just using them for the basics: food, shelter. And yeah, I was a kid at the time, but I still had that heavy feeling on my heart of being a burden to them. I didn't give much to them. I look back on my relationship with my dad, and I really wish I kind of just decided to spend more time with him, talk to him a bit more. And even my grandparents, I still get to see them when I do decide to go. Um, but it's just one of those things where, I mean, I was right there, so I don't know. I'm lucky enough to have had the same friend group since when I was 14 or 13, around then. So I've had them for years now, and we're all a pretty tight, close knit group. People I can talk to, but I think one thing with that is I've definitely felt as a burden to them sometimes. It's kind of hard not picturing yourself as the main character sometimes, and I think it's a good thing for yourself, the listener, to picture yourself as the main character, because for all you know, you should think that you're the main character. Um, and for years, I just couldn't get that idea. I'd always think that I was the side character, and I still do from time to time, and that's okay. Right now, I tried university, tried college, and both of them were either too hard or just not my forte. And I moved out now. I'm living off of the inheritance that my father left me. He, like I said, he was always smart with money, so he made sure to leave me some to survive for a bit. Plus more, of course. And that goes into my next part, where that money that I'm using right now, it doesn't even feel like it's mine, and it's more of a burden. I'm a burden for using it. And I get all these people around me looking at me and looking at my story, and it just feels like there's so many judging eyes on me, and they're all thinking the negative, and I'm thinking them too, of course. But I don't know how to get over that feeling. And I didn't for years and years, and it took away from me for so long. I even ended up ending relationship, a relationship that was pretty good for me, because of that feeling of a burden, of being a burden, of not being wanted or needed, or just feeling like I wasn't doing more and being the best. I'm not too sure when it started to click, and I don't even think it's fully clicked yet, because I'm sure that I still have some of those feelings, definitely now with the whole inheritance thing. But one saying that has really helped me as of late, and is one thing I think you can take away from this, is stop deciding how others feel without letting them show you. If you're assuming negative thoughts and opinions and emotions, then you're going to be fed negative thoughts, opinions, and emotions, because that's all your brain's going to latch onto. When in reality, if you think of yourself as the main character, if you think of yourself not as a burden, and do good by the people that are surrounding themselves with you, even if it's one or two people, there surely is someone that cares about you, and if not, there's people that can care about you, but you just gotta get yourself out of a negative space, negative head. And of course that's easier to say than obviously do, but the name of the channel is Unfinished Life, because I'm still going, and I'm gonna have problems, and you're gonna have problems, and neither one of us is gonna have the exact answer. But my biggest piece of advice is to try and be grateful and happy to have the people that are around you. And if the people that are around you are truly not good for you, then find new people. There's however many billion people in this world. Surely you can find a few people that can actually help you and lift you up. there's a saying that I'll end this video with that I'm definitely going to butcher because I don't have it written down or haven't heard in a while, but it's also lasted with me. I know that you can be great, but you're enough already. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I don't know if these are all going to be sappy or maybe I'll make a few happy ones or something like that. But either way, if you have advice or a thought or a comment or even a negative comment, go ahead and leave it down below. And yeah, I hope you do well.